I've been fortunate enough to have been told by some very wise people in my comments that I was wrong about semen retention and how it's bad, it's unhealthy, it's unnatural. One guy even said he saw the anger on my face and said I need to just bust one. To which I considered their kind intentions for me. And I gotta say, I was wrong. I've been ignorant to have ignored all their warnings, and now it's too late for me. The other night, I woke up in the middle of the night to what sounded like a gunshot. And then I realized it was my prostate that exploded. They've warned me all along, but I never listened. Now my prostate's gone. One particular individual was very witty and clever to point the correlation between my bad hair as a cause of semen retention, and I was so blind this whole time I couldn't see it, but now I see it. I'm enlightened. Others have warned me as well with the wise saying of use it or lose it, and I'm fortunate to say I've lost it. Doing this for many years, I now realize I've lost it. Semen retention has completely destroyed me. I'm beyond recovery, but I'm here to tell you and warn you not to do it, because I've done my research. Actually, I was just an ignorant, dumb fella, but I went ahead and did all the research, and let me share all that with you. After some deep diving and excessive analysis, I was shocked that the research was one for one of what they spoke of. Masturbation can be healthy because it promotes the release of feel-good hormones like oxytocin, which can reduce stress and improve sleep quality. It can also boost self-esteem, provide natural pain relief, and is associated with a lower risk of prostate cancer in men. Exploring your sexuality through masturbation is a natural and pleasurable activity that can contribute to overall well-being. The mental health benefits include stress reduction, mood improvement, better sleep, enhanced self-esteem. The physical health benefits include prostate health, natural pain relief, improved libido, and sign of good health. It is quite unfortunate I've been missing out on all these health benefits, as they're very evident. But hey, research is research. I can't just take their word for it, the scientists and all that. I wanted to dig deeper and find some personal insights, and I dived deep on Reddit. Someone asked, is it bad that I masturbate every day, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day? Is it bad for my health, mental or physical? The first top rated comment, about 200 likes, upvotes, says, as long as it doesn't interfere with your social life, work, school, then you're all good. Phew, what a relief. As long as no humans or animals are harmed in the process, go for it. Well, that makes sense. If you don't harm a human or an animal, it's not like you're harming yourself. These are all very knowledgeable, advanced, developed, intricate, sophisticated fellas. These aren't just random people on Reddit. Clearly the upvotes goes to show they speak the truth. This next guy is even some sort of high-level historian. He probably seen the evidence himself, because he shares that human males have been jerking the yurkin multiple times a day since we crawled out of caves with a club in one hand and our Johnson in the other. There's nothing wrong with beating the meat once or twice, so long as you're doing it in privacy of your own spank place, palace, and preferably not at the dinner table. Well, it's a very good point. You'd want some private place where you could just hide. Nobody needs to know about this because it's healthy for you, but nobody needs to know. Just hide somewhere. Definitely don't do it in public. It's very good pointers. Make sure not to squeeze too hard and hydrate. Very good, solid health advice. You don't want to bruise or mess something up, and you definitely want to stay hydrated. And if your one-eyed snake gets a little bruised, to lay off the bishop beating for a day or so. Another solid point from this certified historian, because too much grinding with no rest would be bad, of course. Someone else noticed the level of comment and says, one of those moments I wish I had in a word. He's very grateful for this amazing knowledge shared to us mere average humans. This next guy is a extended health researcher with extensive research and insights on the matter. And his advice is, as long as you're drinking plenty of water, you should be fine. I mean, what more can you say? Hydration, masturbation, perfectly fine, you're good to go. This next fella's been doing it for a decade. So he's like the opposite of me. You know how over a decade I've been doing semen retention? He's been doing this supreme health practice of masturbation for over a decade. So he asks, what's the effects of daily masturbation for 10 years on my mind and body? Someone, the top rated comment says, a normal life. Duh. That's what we aspire for, is it not? We want to conform to societal norms. We want normality to its finest. Some very wise man even chimed in with his 30-year knowledge and experience, first-hand experience on this. He says, I've been masturbating since I was 9. I'm now in my 40s. I had no problems with women. I have no ED, really no health problems at all, except low testosterone. Nothing major. Why even mention it? Caused by a congenital birth defect that only really manifested in my late 30s. Yeah, that's the worst. I hate when that happens. You're just born with some birth defect that gives you low T. Of course, the 30 years of masturbation would help with that, but just unfortunate guy. Successful career so far, loving my wife, no addictions. I think my story is the norm. Again, normality is what we strive and shoot for. Next guy says, scientifically, and remember, we trust science with our life. Science is the greatest knowledge one may know. It says scientifically, no effect aside from possibly reducing your chance of developing prostate cancer. Like I said, mine blew up the other day, quite unfortunate. Or cardiovascular disease. Dang it, my heart's probably next if I don't stop. Fortunate and blessed to have a philosopher, a deep stoic, great, deep mind, capable thinker, chime in this mere thread and offer his extensive wisdom. He says, if it's a problem if you make, think, or imagine it a problem. Boom, mind is blown. It's all in your mind, is essentially what he's saying. Therefore, it's 100% not a problem, as long as it's not a problem in your mind. The revelation there. As a decade-long practitioner of semen retention, I wasn't sold just yet. I needed something more mainstream, something more popular and authorized. You know, the authority of the government I sought after. And I stumbled upon a great resource called menshealth.com. Very reputable, very fact-checked. It says 11 incredible health benefits to masturbation. Whew, this is gonna be a good one. All right, the first one is it can lower prostate cancer risk. Again, I've addressed this already, mine blew up. It makes you harder. As you age, you naturally lose muscle tone. Yep, even down there. Masturbation works out your pelvic floor muscle to prevent ED and incontinence. Keeps the angle of your dangle perky, brain says. So wow, no wonder I lost it. You don't use it, you lose it. This should be like common sense. Third benefit, that helps you last longer during sex. Yeah, because you masturbate, you masturbate and you're already orgasm, so then you don't really, have that edge, that tense that you want to bust. You're basically just, thrusting in sex and you feel nothing almost. You could last forever, it's amazing. It boosts immunity. Dang it, that makes sense why I got sick a couple times with semen retention. It boosts your mood. Again, another correlation. How that guy said, I seem very tense and angry in my face and I needed to bust one. That was a mad genius in disguise. 6, it can help you fall asleep. Well, that makes sense why every night I had insomnia with the boner all night and I just couldn't fall asleep. It's all coming together, guys. I'm putting up pieces of the puzzle and I see the whole picture now. 7, it can increase your lifespan. That's amazing. I could live for another 20 years to masturbate 3 times a day. It can help reduce stress. I'm sure it does. You just find some corner in your room, or lock your room, close your blinds, stay indoors and fap away. It's really gonna de-stress. It's like you unplug from society and really immerse yourself in your habits. It can improve your skin. Orgasms cause increased blood flow to your skin. This one I find a little conflicting because every buster, every person that practices this supreme health practice actually has really bad skin, so I don't know. It must be because they're not hydrating. There you go. Perfect video ID. How to improve your skin with masturbation. The secret is to hydrate. If you don't, you have bad skin like most people do. 10, it helps you get to know your own body better. Wow. Unreal. Never thought of that. Never figured that one out, huh? So if I masturbate, I can get to know my body better. That means I could become stronger. I could understand my body and its pleasures. When I go to the gym, I will really know how to contract certain areas of it. Get a pump. Improves heart health. I'm surprised I still haven't died of a heart attack by now. Not masturbating for over a decade. It's crazy. Just fortunate that I didn't yet. Just got lucky. And it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's actually 3 potential risks of masturbation. Don't worry, they're all fixable. 1 is you can hurt yourself. Really gotta stay hydrated, as some of those very knowledgeable, experienced masturbators have mentioned in those Reddit threads. You don't want to hurt yourself. Hydration is key here. You can give yourself death grip syndrome. That's a cool name. Death grip syndrome, huh? It's a decreased sensitivity. It's a penis. They've been stroking too much force. Getting used to aggressively tight grip can set you up for penile injury. Makes sense because all the health benefits will make your arm really strong, and you're probably subconscious just squeezing so hard you're gonna pop your penis off. But remember, if you're hydrated, this is all avoidable. 3, you might feel ashamed. Now, why would we feel ashamed? What a silly one, right? Let's read more on it. If you come from religion, culture, or family that demonizes self-pleasure, you might experience some guilt after rubbing one out. It's possible to work through these negative feelings, but the process might take some time. Yeah, it's a rough one. How do I explain to my family, to my friends, that this is perfectly normal and fine, it's healthy if anything? They're just dumb, ignorant fellas that haven't read up on this good knowledge, huh? And yeah, there's no reason to feel ashamed, right? I'd probably even do it in public if it was legal. Well, okay, I wouldn't, because I would want to do it in privacy where no one ever saw me, somewhere dark, and yeah. But it's perfectly fine and healthy. After some deep diving, I was able to find something very revolutionary, and this comes from a very evolved masturbator. He's on different realms that we're yet to achieve. He says DAE, I don't know what that means, feel that masturbation is better than sex because one knows how to pleasure himself best. Plus, it doesn't require as much effort as sex, and that desire to have sex is more exciting than actually having sex. So this guy's clearly evolved. Normies, average people, believe sex is the ideal, but clearly, once you evolve with masturbation, you don't need sex. Matter of fact, you prefer masturbation. Like, why even bother with sex? Even like being intimate with a woman, your hand is all you need in the supreme way. Another very evolved masturbator chimes in by the name of Emotional Mode 8900. Because once you master masturbation, your emotional senses are heightened. Your emotional evolvement is supreme. He says masturbation triumphs over sex. Sex is highly overrated to the point where it's glorified into being something that it's not even close to. I much rather masturbate than to have sex any day of the week, hence why I'm single. All benefits. You don't need a girl, you don't need anything but your hand. I'm getting better pleasure from masturbation rather than having sex with a person. People are too needy, and when you're in a relationship, you can't always masturbate because you have to have sex with them. Otherwise, they cheat on you. I hate when that happens. You don't have sex with your partner, they cheat on you. It's the worst. Sex with the same person gets stale and boring, but masturbating doesn't, because you can swap hands. He goes on to say much more, but I don't think I'm evolved enough to be able to comprehend all this. I'm gonna save it for later once I evolve more as a masturbator to truly comprehend this outworldly knowledge. Someone was kind enough to contribute to this very intellectually inclined, sophisticated conversation by saying, ha ha ha, I've had this thoughts before. I've been with girls who are just awkward at it, and I literally plan how I'm gonna wank it when she leaves, lol. Lamau, dude. Yeah, like the girl's so awkward, it's like, why have sex with her? Just like, start planning already. Stop wasting time with the girl. You could already be planning how you're gonna go in your room, hide somewhere, and just wank off. That's ideal. Next guy says, hell yes, I still masturbate even after 20 years of being married. And boy, this guy probably just waits for his wife to leave so he can have all the freedom, practice his supreme health practice. You know what I found? This next thing is really weird, because this person says, why does masturbation feel better after waiting a few days? Instead of doing it daily or twice a day, why does it feel better when you wait a few days or just much longer? It's so weird, yeah? It's like such a supreme health practice, and you'd think doing it 5 times a day would feel amazing always, because you just keep increasing your health and it's super normal, safe and all that. So why, if you go a few days off, it feels better? That's really weird. It doesn't make sense. Now that I think about it, it makes perfect sense. It's because he wasn't hydrated. Had he been hydrated every day, he would have felt amazing. But in those days that he had off, he was probably more hydrated when he went back into it. This next person's so enlightened, it's really beyond us, beyond our comprehension. And they might have just found the elixir of life, the true way out of this rat race and mere human status. He says, or she, whatever, masturbation is one of the only things that makes me happy. I wouldn't say I have an addiction. I can stop when I want, and while I know that all addicts say that, it's generally true in my case. Yeah, I mean, probably, like, in most cases it's not, but in her case it's probably true. It doesn't sound like addiction to me, it just sounds like highest evolvement. Anyway, aside from that, it gets in the way of my life. Of the things I enjoy. I like reading, I adore reading, but I don't even do it once a month because I spend my time at night masturbating instead. Well, duh, if you're onto something so supreme, why would you do stupid stuff like reading? I normally masturbate about 1 hour at night, probably more if I'm honest. It feels like, since it directly gives me dopamine or whatever, it isn't affected by my depression in the same way. Other things aren't. I don't really know. I just know it isn't good or healthy. I need advice. Well, based off our extensive research, we know that masturbation improves mood. So that makes sense why it wouldn't make sense why she has depression. It makes sense why he or she masturbates so much, because they're seeking to elevate this depression, because it improves your mood. But the real issue here is none of that. The real issue here, I believe, is hydration. I don't know if they're hydrated enough. Someone else goes to say, while I don't masturbate as much as you, I get where you're coming from. I've had days where I was so stressed, and as I was driving home, I generally looked forward to just taking my clothes off, booting up the laptop and watching porn like it was the highlight of my day. It helped me relieve so much stress. I don't see a problem, to be honest. Yeah, I don't see one either. It's supreme health practice that really de-stresses you, improves your mood, as long as you're hydrated. The OP goes on to say, to reply to that, I just don't feel like a reliance on it to be happy is healthy for me. I don't know. Have some faith. Come on, like, so doubtful in their practice of this supremacy. Have some faith, confidence in what you do. It truly is a supreme way. Lord Hamlet 47 truly is a kind person, and his advice is, don't listen to this, idiots. Masturbation is a normal, healthy activity that everyone does. It only becomes a problem if it starts getting in the way of life. can't make it to that ball game with friends, I walked off instead for 2 hours, that would be a problem. Yeah, I mean, you gotta go against those retards that say it's bad for you. They're just ignorant as I was. Alright, I'm done with the satire stuff. It was fun. But it just goes to show you how stupid people are. The stupidity of this world and mainstream, all that. These are real people, and it seems like they're just oddballs and weirdos, but most of the world is like this, which is insane. Most of the world believes masturbation is healthy and all that nonsense. And even in person, when I talk to someone about the subject of semen retention, they'll say that it just sounds dumb or silly, or they've never tried it, or they can never do that. One for one, I've never met a person that is for semen retention in real life. I've talked to a good amount of people. I brought up the subject just to gauge, curious, what people's views are. Doesn't matter how healthy or unhealthy the person was. Nobody knows, nobody practices it, nobody believes in it, nobody cares for it. That's why my goal is to shine the light, to spread the power of semen retention on this channel, on YouTube, to the world. They could take it or leave it, I don't care. But the ones that are destined to be great will take it. That's all that matters.